Playing. So pole position, David Mack on the inside from Charlie Wyatt in the number 23 alongside Catherine Potter, Charlie Benson, row number 2, Gracie Mitchell and Ollie Poole on row number 3, Lizzie Mentier and Frankie Smedley, row 4. Isabella Stansmore-Wilson is 9th, Kian McLeod 10th, Jared Fox-Whiteley 11th, Jake Bory 12th. Sebastian Corking, Addison Smith, Jack Thompson and Thomas Potter 15th and 16th. Finlay Fishburne, Max Shields, Sophie Pawsey, Max Bory, Connor Duddy, William Howard, Felix Smedley and Oliver Green. We then have Jacob Giblett-Lee, Josh Cooke and Oliver Watson, all 3 drivers coming into problems in heat number 2. You see all our drivers rolling into place. I think we've got a problem with the number 48. He's just rolled straight to the front of the pack and has peeled off onto the grass. The final kart on the grid rolls itself into place. The 94 of Ollie Poole in the in the mini rock. Looks like we've got the 15 of Addison Smith, looks to be out of grid position. We can get him sorted out. I think the 94 of Poole being shown in the middle of the grid has caused some problems, and he's going to start from the back as he has in all of the heats because he's not in the mix for the back, having taken race victory last time out with an opportunistic and then move to the inside of the as Wyatt and Potter battled it out round the outside of South Bank and then held on for victory at the end. So he will start for the first time from pole position. And he will line up alongside the number 23 of Charlie Wyatt, who he ran to the line with at the end of heat number 2. Playing. So pole position, David Mack on the inside from Charlie Wyatt in the number 23 alongside Catherine Potter, Charlie Benson, row number 2, Gracie Mitchell and Ollie Poole on row number 3, Lizzie Mentier and Frankie Smedley, row 4. Isabella Stansmore-Wilson is 9th, Kian McLeod 10th, Jared Fox-Whiteley 11th, Jake Bory 12th. Sebastian Corking, Addison Smith, Jack Thompson and Thomas Potter 15th and 16th. Finlay Fishburne, Max Shields, Sophie Pawsey, Max Bory, Connor Duddy, William Howard, Felix Smedley and Oliver Green. We then have Jacob Giblett-Lee, Josh Cooke and Oliver Watson, all 3 drivers coming into problems in heat number 2. See all our drivers rolling into place. I think we've got a problem with the number 48. He's just rolled straight to the front of the pack and has peeled off onto the grass. The final kart on the grid rolls itself into place. The 94 of Ollie Poole in the in the mini rock. Looks like we've got the 15 of Addison Smith, looks to be out of grid position. We can get him sorted out. I think the 94 of Poole being shown in the middle of the grid has caused some problems, and he's going to start from the back as he has in all of the heats because he's not in the mix for the O Plate at the end of the day. So as the midfield gets themselves sorted out, the 15 Addison Smith and the 48 of Barry gets himself ready to go. We can just get these sorted. It looks like possibly Thomas Potter's out of position as well. I think I was expecting him to start 15th or 16th, and he's well down towards the back end of the field. final few carts placed into position. Looks like we're still waiting for the number 38 of Thomas Potter to be lined up where he needs to be. Currently on the grass on the inside of the track. I think he's going to get pushed back and then resituated in on the outside of the grid. Looks like there's a gap between the 52 of Corking and the 18 of Shields that is just about big enough to get a cart in. I think that's where the number 38 may sit, although he is currently being lined up towards the rear of the field. And it looks like that's where he will be starting. Though he was billed to be in around 15th or 16th, he will line up towards the rear of the field. Looks like everything is sort of green flag is in hand and we are underway. Slow start for the 86 of Jake Borey is the leader off the line. Pole sitter David Mack leads round. Looks like Gracie Mitchell's had a great start and finds herself up into third place already. 23 of Charlie Wyatt picks up a contact warning off the start line, but it will be David Mack, and looks like the one of the front runners, Catherine Potter, in the 20 is well out of the way. There she is, battling it out for 7th or 8th, but it's David Mack in the lead from Charlie Wyatt, Gracie Mitchell and Lizzie Mentier, the top 4. Mack defends early. Nothing he can do though as Charlie Wyatt finds his way through into the lead, and it looks like Gracie Mitchell is looking as well to follow through. We've got one car off the circuit, that's the number 3 once again of Josh Cooke. Problems in heat number 2 and also now problems in heat number 3. As we return to the front, and we've got a couple, that's the 44 and the 48, both off at the outside of hairpin number 4. They're going to get themselves sorted out and underway, so problems as well. The 86, that's another one, that's Jake Borey. We spoke to him earlier, and he is on the outside of hairpin number 4, and it looks like his race is done. But out at the front, Charlie Wyatt looks to be away. We've got the 27 as well of William Howard, and it looks like he's got a throttle cable problem because he's planting that throttle down, and that car is going absolutely nowhere, and he stops on the outside of the national loop. Gracie Mitchell though moves up into 2nd place and will set off in pursuit of the 23 Charlie Wyatt. At Wyatt, Mitchell, Mack, Mentier, Charlie Benson in the 25, Fox Whiteley, Potter up to 7th again, having slowed at the start. Frankie Smedley in the 73, Isabella Stansmore Wilson 9th, Max Shields 10th, McLeod 11th, Finley Fishburn 12th, Ollie Poole already up to 13th in the Mini Rock. As looks like Mitchell has managed to break away in 2nd place. Mack is coming under pressure from Mentier in the number 50. Out at the front, got quite a gap as well, the 23 of Charlie Wyatt. So it's Wyatt, Mitchell and Mack, the top 3. Mentier, Benson and Fox Whiteley in there as well. And then on the back of that, Catherine Potter on the back of the number 22. Trying to make amends for the slow first lap. They're going to come up on the back marker on the inside, one of the spinners from earlier on. And they will have to run all the way around the outside there. Mentier trying to get past David Mack in the 16. She's going to cut to the inside and get a run. Mack's no stranger to squeezing people tightly there on the inside, as he did in heat number 2 to pick up the victory on the final lap. Finds himself currently though down in 3rd place. Fox Whiteley now takes up the battle on the back of Lizzie Mentier in the 50. So Mack, Mentier and Fox Whiteley 3rd, 4th and 5th. Behind them, Charlie Benson and Catherine Potter. Potter struggling to get past the 25 of Benson. Benson doing well to hold off the number 20 of Catherine Potter. as they come through, it will be we are beyond half race distance. Charlie Wyatt will come through. There'll be 3 laps remaining as he crosses the line. The gap was 1.4 to Gracie Mitchell. It's now 1.3 as Jared Fox-Whiteley goes right round the outside over the start line and up into 3rd place at the expense of David Mack. So Fox-Whiteley is 3rd, Mack 4th, Mentier 5th. Mack goes back to the inside of Fox-Whiteley, forces his way through. Mentier as well goes round the outside. So Fox-Whiteley all the way back down to 5th place. It could be 6th though by the time that Catherine Potter's gone down the inside, although Potter has to get stopped by the back marker, and Fox-Whiteley goes right back round the outside, and it's everybody back into the positions that they were. Behind them, the fast charging 94 of Ollie Poole, who won the O Plate last season. Out of contention for it this year though, unfortunately, choosing to run the mini rock. So we've got Wyatt, Mitchell, Mack, Mentier, Fox-Whiteley, fastest lap of the race as expected by Ollie Poole. The 47.899 goes through, a couple of seconds faster than the Hondas. But the battle for 3rd continues. The top 2 well on their way and comfortable with 1.5 second gaps between them. So we watch the battle for 3rd. Mack, very interested in what's happening behind him. Spending a lot of time down the straight looking over his shoulder. Fox-Whiteley's going to try and go wide and try and go right round the outside of Mentier to set something up for hairpin number 4. There's the move down the inside. Mentier's gone round the outside and Catherine Potter has done both of them. Moving up from 6th, she'll come over the line in 4th, so it's Mack in 3rd, Potter in 4th. Great move by Potter as Mentier and Fox-Whiteley battled it out. She took full advantage and went round them both, and will now try to get past David Mack for 3rd place and should hopefully return a fairly reasonable starting place if she gets a 3rd for the final. And I think it would be very interesting as Ollie Poole gets himself into the mix, and he's going to get involved just as the last lap starts, trying to get past this pack, and it's going to mix things up no end as he goes down the inside of Mentier and Fox-Whiteley. But as the leaders come out of the final corner, it's going to be a comfortable victory for the number 23 of Charlie Wyatt. Over the line, takes the checkered flag, followed by Gracie Mitchell. Poole comes through 3rd overall from Mack, Potter, Fox-Whiteley and Mentier. So Mack manages to get back past Catherine Potter on the final lap. Kian McLeod and Max Shields both get past Isabella Stansmore-Wilson on the final lap. She comes through in 11th. Connor Duddy gets past Finlay Fishburne as well on the final lap. Ends the day in 14th for that race. We've got a superb final in store for us in cadets. We've had 3 races and 3 different race winners, and it will be all to play for when it comes to final time. Charlie Wyatt, Gracie Mitchell, David Mack, Catherine Potter, Jared Fox-Whiteley, Lizzie Mentier, Charlie Benson, Kian McLeod, Max Shields are the top 9 in the Honda class. Then we've got Ollie Poole, who came through 3rd overall in the Seoul Mini Rock, running from the back of the grid, this time finding his way up to 3rd place overall in the number 94. Good efforts further down. Oliver Watson coming through from the back of the grid, having retired from heat number 2, makes up 8 places. Connor Duddy as well comes through from 20th, makes up 6 to go into 14th. Just unfortunately, we had a few retirements at the end of that one, with Oliver Green, Jake Borey, William Howard and Josh Cooke. So the 27 kart grid for cadets depleted a little bit towards the end with a couple of retirements, but as we see them come up and over our weighbridge, 2 more heats for you in Senior Pro Car and Senior Rotax, and then it is final time. And that's when the grid is decided as an average of the 3 heats, so points awarded for finishing positions in the first heats and second heat and then the 3rd heat added together, and the driver with the most points will start on pole position for the O Plate final.